Adrian Newey arrives at Aston Martin on March 3rd with sky-high expectations for the team's future, especially with the 2026 regulation changes and Honda's arrival on the horizon. The new Aston Martin AMR 25 will be the first true test of Newey's influence, but for now, the car remains a product of the pre-Newey era. However, the team insists this is not just another iteration of the past, with CEO and team principal Andy Cowell describing it as almost 100% new aerodynamically. Aston Martin's recent struggles highlight the need for drastic improvements. After a promising start in 2023, where Fernando Alonso secured 6 podiums in 8 races, the team's performance steadily declined, ultimately finishing 5th in the Constructors' Championship. The downward trend continued in 2024, with the car becoming increasingly difficult to drive, leading to a sharp drop in points compared to the previous season. The AMR 25's primary objective is clear: to be stronger and more competitive in the midfield. The team has focused on improving drivability, aiming for a more predictable and stable car, particularly through corners. Dan Fallows, before stepping down as technical director, pointed to a major limitation. While upgrades delivered expected performance gains, they failed to address the car's instability. This issue was so pronounced that late in the season, the team switched between 2 different floor specifications depending on the track type, revealing weaknesses in factory development. Now, with a fresh approach, the AMR 25 is designed to correct those mistakes. Aston Martin has pushed hard on development, and early renders ahead of the Bahrain shakedown highlight some eye-catching features. Aerodynamic head Eric Blondin states that over 90% of the car's aerodynamic surfaces have changed from last year's model, reinforcing the focus on drivability and stability. One key area of improvement is the front wing, which has evolved significantly since its late 2023 introduction at the United States Grand Prix. This aims to generate more low-speed downforce, a critical factor given the car's previous tendency to understeer in slow corners. The front wing's chord lengths have been modified, presumably to increase load, though former F1 technical director Gary Anderson warns that balancing low-speed and high-speed aerodynamic effects remains a challenge. Another major change is the redesigned nose, which has been made bulkier while retaining the slot gap between the nose and main plane to improve airflow consistency. Additionally, the gap between the front wheels and the trailing edge of the front wing end plates appears to have been widened, potentially enhancing outwash and boosting performance at high steering angles in slow corners. The most noticeable evolution comes in the side pod design. The AMR 25 features a revised version of the side pod package first tested in Austin last year, which initially failed to deliver the expected performance gains. The new iteration includes reworked geometry, a redesigned radiator inlet, and internal cooling system modifications. Notably, the radiator inlet now adopts an overbite bodywork design, an increasingly popular solution to optimize airflow management. This contributes to a more aggressive side pod undercut, enhancing aerodynamic efficiency. With these changes, Aston Martin aims to take a significant step forward, setting the stage for a more competitive season and laying the foundation for Newey's long-term impact on the team. The AMR 25 is a crucial car for the team's trajectory, and its performance will determine whether Aston Martin can finally break free from its recent struggles or remain stuck in the midfield fight. Adrian Newey arrives at Aston Martin on March 3rd with expectations soaring ahead of the 2026 regulations and the highly anticipated arrival of Honda. However, before that seismic shift, the Aston Martin AMR 25 will reveal just how much magic Newey needs to bring to the team. While this car is a product of the pre-Newey era, the team insists it is not just a continuation of past designs. CEO and team principal Andy Cowell has described the AMR 25 as almost 100% new aerodynamically, a necessary change after Aston Martin's sharp decline last season. After a stellar start to 2023, where Fernando Alonso secured 6 podiums in the first 8 races as Red Bull's closest challenger, the team's form deteriorated. They slumped to 5th in the Constructors' Championship that year and repeated the position in 2024 with an even less competitive car. The AMR 25 aims to reverse this trend, focusing on making the car more stable, predictable, and responsive throughout a race. The AMR 25 is Aston Martin's chance to correct these missteps. Despite this being the final season before a major rule change, the team has pushed aggressively in its development. Early renders of the car, released ahead of the Bahrain shakedown, showcase several striking features. Aerodynamics chief Eric Blandon revealed that over 90% of the AMR 25's aerodynamic surfaces have been redesigned, emphasizing improved drivability. The front wing is an evolution of the one introduced at the United States Grand Prix in October, targeting increased low-speed downforce, crucial for managing the inherent understeer of this regulation era. The wing's chord lengths have been altered, likely to increase aerodynamic load, though balancing low and high-speed effects remains challenging. Notable changes extend to the side pods, which appear to be an evolved version of the package Aston Martin tested in Austin last year. That initial design failed to deliver the expected performance, but for 2025, the side pod geometry and radiator inlet have been reworked, requiring a repackaging of the internal cooling system. The radiator inlet now features an overbite bodywork design, a concept growing in popularity for improving airflow management off the front wing. These refinements contribute to a more aggressive side pod undercut, enhancing airflow speed through the car's center and aiding rear-end stability. Additional aerodynamic updates include a jagged, razor-sharp spine on the engine cover, optimizing airflow to the rear wing. The underfloor, key to overall car performance, remains unseen, but adjustments to the floor edges, side pods, and brake ducts hint at substantial modifications beneath the surface. Interestingly, Aston Martin has integrated the rear wing's main plane and end plates more aggressively, likely to generate additional downforce despite the potential drag penalty. Mechanically, the AMR 25 retains a pushrod front and rear suspension,